If you're planning a trip through northern India, you've probably heard of Magnetic Hill. It's an incredibly famous roadside stop located deep in the Ladakh region. The local legend says that a supernatural magnetic force emanates from the ground here, one so strong it can pull a stationary car entirely uphill. But look closely at the terrain. The surrounding mountains create an optical illusion. You aren't defying gravity, you're actually on a downhill slope that just happens to look like an incline. You'll find this exact spot right on the highway, sitting roughly 26 to 30 kilometers west of the major regional hub of Leh. Because this is a 15-minute photo op and not a sprawling resort, you shouldn't build an entire vacation around it. The real challenge is figuring out how to thread this isolated pit stop into your larger travel plans without draining your wallet or your timeline. Getting here requires navigating some of the most desolate, rocky terrain on the planet. Ladakh's extreme isolation means your transportation options are heavily restricted. This map shows 3 ways in: fly to Leh Airport, take a train to Jammu Tawi station, or drive the NH1D highway. But with massive distances between them, you must decide what to sacrifice: cash, vacation days, or physical comfort. If you don't weigh these trade-offs carefully, you could exhaust your travel budget or waste 3 full days in transit before your trip even starts. The fastest way to reach the region is to book a direct flight. You'll land right here at Leh Airport, which serves as the primary entry hub for this route. From the terminal, it's a straightforward 30-kilometer local taxi or motorbike ride directly out to the hill. This chart lays out the trade-offs. Air travel requires very little time, but it carries the highest base cost. You also miss out on the long overland journey through the mountains, which many consider the defining cultural experience of visiting Ladakh. Flying is highly efficient. It gets you exactly where you need to be quickly, but it isolates the destination from the journey. If you want to keep your baseline costs down, you might consider taking the train up to northern India. Your train ride will end here at the Jammu Tawi railway station. The tracks simply do not go all the way to Leh. That creates a massive geographical trap. You are still hundreds of kilometers away from Magnetic Hill. To cross that gap, you'll have to book a shared taxi or a local bus, subjecting yourself to a grueling ride along sheer cliff drops just to reach the starting point of your itinerary. Looking back at our matrix, rail travel keeps your base cost very low, but the time required spikes drastically. You save money up front, but you pay for it with severe physical fatigue and the loss of 2 to 3 days of your actual vacation. The final option is to commit to the full overland drive using the Srinagar-Kargil-Leh Highway. Specifically, you need to follow National Highway 1D through the mountains. The major advantage here is that Magnetic Hill isn't a detour. The visual illusion happens right on the highway itself, meaning you drive directly through it as part of your route. It also offers a massive scenic payout, with the bright blue Indus River flowing directly alongside the eastern edge of the road. But you have to be prepared for the conditions. You will face unpredictable road surfaces, the physical strain of high-altitude driving, and severe delays when you get stuck behind heavy transport trucks. Updating our chart one last time, the road trip offers high convenience since it routes you straight through the site, but it maxes out the time required to complete the journey. Highway 1D demands serious stamina, but if you have the time, it transforms a brief roadside curiosity into the natural peak of a massive adventure. Because getting to Magnetic Hill is a logistical puzzle, there is no single best route. There is only the right route for your specific limitations. This flowchart breaks down your decision based on your primary constraint. You need to choose between prioritizing time, budget, or experience. If you have fewer than 7 days for your total trip, you fall into the time constraint. You need to book a flight to Leh and rent a local cab so you don't ruin a brief itinerary. If you are strictly optimizing your budget, follow the path to the train. Take it to Jammu Tawi, but only if you are fully prepared to sacrifice 2 to 3 days strictly to transit. If you are traveling for the experience, choose the drive along Highway 1D. This makes Magnetic Hill an organic milestone on your journey, rather than a forced detour. By matching your transit method directly to your travel constraints, you turn what could be a stressful logistical headache into a rewarding highlight of Ladakh.